Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and physics have long been a very important part of game development, and one of the most important physics engines out there, at least so far as 2D games go, is an open source project called Box2D. Now, this has been around since like 2007, so this is a very mature physics engine. It was most famously used in Angry Birds, but this is actually the physics engine that Unity uses for their 2D physics. It is a key player in the space, but it is, as the name suggests, a 2D physics engine. Well, what happens if you want to go into the world of 3D? Well, the good news is, now you can. By the way, physics demonstrations are always so incredibly satisfying. They're just fun to play with. So you can see, this is Box3D. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this one, and I'm going to move it out. And we're going to see the glorious chaos that one little failed Jenga play causes as our little house of cards falls down here. What you're looking in front of you, this is Box3D physics. This is actually built on top of an open source project from Valve that they use internally for their own physics development. We'll get back to that in just a little bit, but it is the basis that the creator of Box2D used to create this new Box3D physics engine. And there are a number of different examples here, by the way. If you want to go ahead and check it out, you can. So here we can see, again, a variety of cups. Once again, let's do the Jenga thing. Grab one and pull it out. And you can see the collisions as they happen. They get highlighted here as they become into space and are updated accordingly. Let's cause a little bit more destruction. And then let's take this teacup and drop it on top as well. So this is a brand new open source physics engine option out there. We'll get into some of the details of what it offers. We'll also take a look at some of the other options that are out there if you are looking for a physics solution, including also what is built into game matches, because the creator of this actually is working right now on an Unreal Engine game, and it didn't do what he needed. So basically he started adopting this other physics engine, and then he redid a lot of it so that it was in line with the Box2D algorithms and so on, because between 2D and 3D physics, a lot of the math stays the same. At least that's the premise behind it. So if you want, this is what I've built from code. So if you want to go ahead and check out the number of different examples, they are available here. It is very easy to get up and build. See a number of different options. It was actually started. This was the reason why it was originally built. We'll go back to that in the description in a second, but to solve this particular problem, you can see it handles chains, it handles physics bodies, characters, including like rigid body character controllers, like, oops, that crashed. All right, wouldn't be a live demonstration if something didn't crash. So let's move on. So it is a Box2D, now Box3D. The Box2D project, by the way, still continues unabated. This is a completely new thing. So this is available. This is from Erin Catto, the creator of this. It is under the MIT license, so you could go ahead and check it out. It was released the end of last week, right before the long weekend. I figured the first week of summer, Canada Day, July 4th, etc. No sense covering it when nobody's paying attention, so I'm catching up on it now. If you're interested, it was written primarily in C, somehow a smattering of C++ detected, but I think that's probably just GitHub going wrong. Makes it very portable, by the way. There are the samples available. If you want to go ahead, I'll show you the build instructions in just a second, but features continuous collision detection, contact events, convex hulls, capsule spheres, triangular meshes, and height fields, multiple shapes per body, collision filtering, ray shapes, ray casts, and overlap queries, sensor systems, character mover. On the physics side of things, we have a robust soft step rigid body solver, continuous physics for fast translations and rotations, island-based sleep, revolute, prismatic, distance motor, weld, and wheel joints, joint limits, motor, springs, and friction, joint and contact forces, body movement, events, and sleep notification. This is data-oriented, written in portable C17, extensive multi-threading and simmed optimization, optimized for large piles of bodies, cross-platform determinism, and recording and replay functionality. And then you saw the samples there. Those samples we looked at use Direct3D 11 on Windows, Metal on Mac OS, and OpenGL 4.5 on Linux. So obviously, it works on those three platforms out of the box. If you want to go ahead and install it, basically have CMake installed, just run it for your platform of choice, and then build it. If you're using Visual Studio, you can also just open up the generated Visual Studio project after you run that batch script right there. So various different solutions there. You can also build for the web if you wish to do so. It's It's very straightforward and easy to use. No dependencies, super easy to build. As long as you've got a C++ toolchain and CMake configured on machine, getting up and running should be no problems at all. And then what you want to do is build the samples available here. Basically, they're all together in a single project that you can go ahead and check them all out there. Very cool project in that regard. So, Box3D, why was it created? Well, the big thing here, once again, is he was working on his own project called The Legend of California. This was a game being written using Unreal Engine, starting with 5, using their built-in physics engine. Spoiler alert, Unreal Engine uses a physics engine called Chaos. So there was no support for simulating gyroscopic torques, which means slender shapes could spin for a long time. So conserving angular velocity, for example, see this video of a spinning rifle. I won't play it, but basically it's a spinning rifle. It's pretty straightforward. So he developed a solution for this. Epic added the feature in 2024. However, it wasn't his biggest problem. Being a survival game, one of the first things I worked on was chopping down trees. Falling trees moved erratically, teleporting around the screen. My best guess is that Chaos was using some sort of continuous collision fallback. The simulation was a large capsule falling on a smooth triangle mesh. Scenario should have been easy to simulate. So you can see it right here. Hopefully we don't get an ad in front. So cutting down a tree. So probably not the physics answer you want. And you can't judge a physics solution. Well, you can judge a physics solution for this, but all physics engines are going to have their edge cases and use cases where they just don't perform well. So this is like dynamic scenario here. They ran into the problem. So another factor is that Legend of California needs to manage a lot of entities. Hundreds of thousands of entities exist on the server. Need a fast, broad-based phase for this. Central to our game that seemed risky to hand this off to middleware. He also has been working on physics engines for ages. So what about Jolt? Spoiler alert. Using an existing open source solution such as Jolt, being a physics programmer, I was pretty confident that I could at least fork Jolt and get the outcome we needed for our game. However, a good friend selected another course of action. By the way, you'll notice here, no issues with Jolt. He just went down a different road here, or at least no stated issues with Jolt. Instead, they built on something called Rubikon. This is the physics engine that was created for Half-Life Alyx. That's the VR version of Half-Life, which, again, is just applauded for its physics in terms of the gameplay there. And then he made a hobby version of it called Rubikon Lite. He forked Rubikon Lite, and then Rubikon Lite is now basically Box3D. So he took all the algorithms out from the Box3D that he already had, so optimizations from Box2D that he liked. He moved them into his Rubikon Lite Box3D fork, and then eventually Rubikon Lite fork transformed into Box3D. Box3D still has some Rubikon Lite code in the convex hull generation and some collision algorithms. The rest is code from Box2D and new code for Box3D. So Box3D is kind of a merging of this Valve-based physics engine, at least parts of it, and then Box2D, and then some new code as well. By the way, it's still being developed over at Valve. It is now called Ragnarok. That's not publicly available, by the way. It's an internal physics solution that Valve are working with. And they've basically created their own custom solution. So they also, again, ordering streaming there, or supporting streaming. Strongholds are being built using kit bashing. A large stronghold can easily have 50,000 separate collision meshes. Loading these into a physics engine one by one is inefficient, uses a lot of memory. So I built a compound collision system where the separate collision shapes are cooked into optimized data structures that can be loaded as a single uber shape. This removes the overhead of creating thousands of bodies and shapes. He also is doing this because he likes making physics stuff. He's created he started back in 2004. Box2D was first publicly released in 2007. So he's definitely been at it for a very long time. And he kind of worked on this because he likes working on physics stuff. So why use it? This one's going to be brief. If you like Box2D and its design, you will probably like Box3D. They are siblings after all. It is open source. I'm not trying to compete with other physics engines. Open source is not a business for me. I developed Box2D and 3D because I love working on game physics. I'm delighted to see all the amazing games created with Box2D over the years. If you want to get started, details are available there. Interestingly, Sandbox, we covered that a little while back. They are using Box3D internally. Esoterica, an open source game, is also being developed using it. And then there's another 1,000-player space game that's using it. In terms of coming soon, so tasks they're considering: enhance the character and movement features, improve ghost collision mitigation, optimizations, and improved joint solver. So that is Box3D, again, available up on GitHub under the MIT license. It was built on top of Rubikon physics. This is Valve's custom CPU-based physics engine that ultimately ended up being used in Half-Life Alyx, and now again they're working on something called Ragnarok to replace it, but ultimately Rubikon is the genesis of Box2D. Now if you're looking for other options out there, he did mention on one of them, this is probably the other darling open source 3D physics solution out there, and that is Jolt. Now you'll see Jolt is actually being used for a number of commercial games, including Horizon Forbidden West, Death Stranding 2, and it is also now the default physics system inside of Godot. Spoiler alert. So this is another option out there. I did a video on this a little while back. It is under the MIT license as well. He didn't state any reason why he didn't go with Jolt. I think as much as anything, he wanted to develop his own solution, and that's legit. Another option out there is Bullet. Now, Bullet is another open source project, but this one seems to be aimed more at simulation. Another one we have is Project Chrono, open source multi-system, multi-physics simulation engine. Honestly, I know literally nothing about Project Chrono. I'm just including it for completeness. It is a C++ library that has Python versions available as well. And then we have Rapier. I covered this one a little while back. This one is more 2D, by the way, with 3D kind of newer. And I had some people when I did the video about Rapier saying, oh, that's an unfortunate name. Just so you know, a Rapier is like a type of sword. There's no weirdness there. Just so you know, in case you were wondering. Something I got a lot of comments on in the video I did on Rapier about how that's an unfortunate name. It really isn't. It's a sword. This here is a rapier, just so you know. And then we got React Physics 3D. Once again, I have literally no experience with this one, other than it is another open source option out there, released under the zlib license. And then the commercial solutions, the one that's pretty much everywhere, is Physics. This was the default built-in physics situation for Unity for years. We also have Havok Physics. This one is now owned by Microsoft. They have SDKs available. So Havok is available for Unreal Engine, and you can also get Havok Physics available for Unity as well, and you can integrate it into your own engine or solution or game, however you want. Havok has been powering commercial game physics for like 2 decades probably. And then we've got Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine has their own built-in physics system. We talked about that earlier on, called Chaos Physics. Now you can also, again, add solutions like Physics or Havok into Unreal Engine if you wish. And then we've got Unity side of things. Unity has 2 options there. So Unity is the built-in 3D physics. So if you create a brand new project and don't specify anything, it's using NVIDIA Physics. However, there is a new solution in there called Unity Physics. This is built around their new dots in ECS. So if you are using dots, you are using their built-in new Unity Physics there as well. And then on the Godot side of things, Godot has their own built-in physics solution as well. I think it was built off of Bullet, but I don't want to be quoted on that one. But anyways, it has its own custom solution. But the thing is, as of Godot 4.5, I think it was, Jolt is now the new built-in default. So when you create a new project, they use Jolt Physics in Godot as their default solution. So ladies and gentlemen, Box2D now has another dimension to it, which is Box3D, a physics engine specifically for games. Again, Windows, Mac, and Linux, completely open source, C code, pretty easy to build. You want to go ahead and check it out, I recommend you do so. And again, there's a pretty good suite of samples to go ahead and see what this engine is capable of and how, of course, you would implement it into your own solution. And I don't doubt without in any time in the future, we're going to start seeing bindings for Box3D for everything, because Box2D, there's a Box2D wrapper for pretty much every programming language and every solution out there. One of the nice things about being straight C. So ladies and gentlemen, that is Box3D, a brand new 3D physics solution. Let me know what you think. Comments down below. I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.